Now, the streets of Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, were erupted in fury after the announcement of Paul Biya's eighth term as president. At 92, Paul Biya, the world's oldest head of state, was declared the winner for an unprecedented eighth term, extending his rule to over 4 decades, winning 53.66% of the vote. The new 7-year term could keep the veteran leader in power until he is nearly 100 years old. For Cameroon's predominantly young population, most of whom have only known one leader, this result was not just a rejection, but a flashpoint. Supporters of opposition candidate Issa Bakare Chiroma poured onto the streets alleging electoral fraud.
A 92-year-old, the oldest president in the whole world, has just won another election to add 7 more years. When we talk about Africa having no hope whatsoever, these are the stories which really makes you feel like it is actually true. It is actually believable that Africa has no hope. In some instances, there's a little bit of light somewhere in the darkness. But when things like this keep happening on the continent of Africa, this is absolutely insane. Before the election, I tried to comfort myself and believe that, you know what, nobody in their right mind is going to vote for a 92-year-old man. This is impossible. Of course, nobody's going to vote for him. And I thought it was going to be difficult for him to steal the election, even if he wanted to do so. Of course, France is involved. France will always help him steal the election because they cannot afford losing another puppet again in Africa. The problems that we have in Africa are very deep. They are not easy to change. It's not going to happen overnight. People do not understand how difficult this is going to be for the continent of Africa. People underestimate the actual challenges that we face as a continent. In circumstances like this, there is no hope for change in terms of the economy or anything. That country is doomed as long as that old man is still sitting on that throne. I don't understand. It goes both sides. From the leader himself, why the hell on the planet Earth do you still want to be a president at the age of 92? I don't know. It is obvious that you have failed, the country is in trouble, and you yourself, you're no longer capable of doing anything because of your age and health issues. But he still wants to be president. That alone is beyond my understanding. I cannot comprehend that. Then you have the people who are supporting him to keep him in power. The military, the police, and the rest of the government officials who are in cahoots with him in order for him to stay in power for that long, helping him rig the election and so whatsoever. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. Why would someone in their right mind do that to their own country, do that to their own fellow people, do that to their own children? You are literally ruining the future of your children. These are multiple generations of young people's lives that have been destroyed, that have been ruined with no hope, with no opportunities, with no job opportunities, and the country is in tatters. Infrastructure is rotten and dilapidated. Roads don't exist. Electricity don't exist. There is no opportunity and there's no hope for young people. How many generations of young people have been destroyed? It's been 43 years of this man in power. And I cannot understand is that in the military and the police, the people who are forcing other people or beating people in the streets to impose this man's rule upon the people. Not everyone gets the benefit of being a loyal dog to this man. It's not everybody who benefits. It's only the top brass which actually gets the millions or gets the houses and gets to steal the resources of the nation. The rest are just lambasting in poverty like anybody else. But they go along with it. Don't you have your own mind? Don't you have your own conscience to know that I'm being used to destroy myself? The very people that you're protecting by beating up your fellow brothers and sisters who are protesting against this man, this very same person is also stealing from you a portion that is supposed to come to you, and they have taken it for themselves and they're enjoying it, and you are being used to protect that very criminal who is stealing from you. We have serious problems in Africa. Serious problems in Africa. Africa is a beautiful continent, blessed with vast resources. You can name all these natural resources that we have. We have good soil, we have good weather, we have water, we have everything. We have minerals. A lot of minerals come from Africa to power other economies and other industries. But unfortunately, Africa has one problem: Africans. The people of Africa have failed over and over again. And this kind of mindset, from the leaders to the people, this kind of mindset is exactly the problem that we have in Africa. I've lost all hope. I have no hope for the continent of Africa. How can we let a 92-year-old man be a president again for 7 more years until he's 99? First time in the history of the world this is happening. I give up. As of tonight, I give up. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. I cannot believe this is happening. I thought this was never gonna happen, but it is happening. When will this end? When will this cycle of foolishness and stupidity and selfishness is going to end? When is the suffering going to end? When are we going to be able to stand up and liberate ourselves as a people of Africa? How can we let this happen to ourselves? How can we do this to ourselves? Why would an old man who is 2 feet away from his grave still want to be a leader? Why do you still want to be a president? Such a demanding position, and you still want to be president? Want to destroy more and more? Haven't you stolen enough? Why can't you go and rest and die in peace? Why do you want to keep on ruining the young people's lives? It is insane and unbelievable.